How many days should you be lifting a week as a runner? This is one of probably the most common questions I get, truthfully, from all my years as a running coach, especially as one that is specialized in strength training. So in this video, I'm going to dive in quite a bit to why you should be strength training, but I'll answer that question. How many days a week should you be strength training? Thanks for checking into this video. I have been strength coaching and run coaching, this, that, and the other, as a personal trainer and strength conditioning specialist, both at like collegiate level, as well as with your kind of everyday, I want to run my first marathon, Boston qualifier type of spectrum of runners. And one of the biggest loopholes I have found year after year, even with today's benefits of having social media and having information where people like myself are obviously talking about the things that we know or things that we've seen work with our clients or ourselves. And so I just blanked out a sentence here. Sorry. One of the biggest things I've noticed, loopholes, there it is, in my run coaching career, as well as where I was when I was a younger runner, is that lifting and power training, especially. I'll do another video on power training, not to segue you away from this, but those are the two biggest loopholes in distance running performance. The majority of people that don't have much running experience watch some of my other videos. I'll try to link some of them here. When it comes to just running more and this, that, and the other, there's other things that you need to do, but most people are not healthy enough. Most people don't have enough, like just structurally, they're not sound enough in order to continue training for running long term. But they feel good typically in the beginning because they either haven't been running. Let's say you're like 40 years old. Some people call that old. I don't. Unless you're like unless you have to like lose 50 pounds, you're probably going to be fine. Like, ironically, somebody like myself who's ran somewhere near 35, 40,000 miles, there's going to be, it's not just simply, oh, well, you're great. It's like, I've also ran that many miles. So there's a little give and take of how much does my body hurt? What kind of patterns do I have? This, that, and the other. And so my point in saying all this is there's a spectrum of reasons for how many days you should lift. Honestly, the simplest, I'm not going to like do one of those things where I wait to the end of the video. The simplest thing is 2. Like, to be honest, I think everybody across the board, people fitness, this, that, and the other, I think 2 days a week is what people should be at, like the majority of their life. I aim at 3, and then at different times I'll do 4, but the 4 is usually like I'm adding like a power training type day into my schedule. So like, let's say in a peak season where I'm like racing 2 or 3 times over the next like few weeks, then my strength training changes, which that is not into the scope of this video. But anyway, the durability reasons, other reasons that runners should do this is running economy, long-term injury resilience, just being healthy, maintaining muscle as you age, power relative to efficiency. So again, that'll be another video. Sorry to keep saying that, but another couple points I want to make is 3 is fine, but more is not always better. It's going to come down to the person's situation, how well people recover. What does your life look like? Like, it may not just be like, should you do a certain amount? I have some clients, I have trouble with this all the time because they read things and listen to stuff. And they're like, well, it looks like I should do 5 days a week of zone 2 now. And I just, so I can get rid of my belly. And I'm like, well, okay, we just had this discussion about trying to get your endurance up. Yes, but you will not sustain this with lifting 3 days a week. Seeing me every other week in person as a client of mine, there's just no way. You will not be able to do this long term. You just will not. So the schedule, as well as where you're at currently, like what season is it? Right now it's the summer. Everybody wants to work out in the summer. How are you going to feel in the winter? And then how do those choices impact your season in the moment? And I think that's even more important than how many days a week should you be running, because you got to look at your life. How do you respond to the winter? I moved away from Michigan because I hated the winters there. That was a huge reason why I left. Like, that may sound like a random thing to say, but it's true. So to get to like some more different types of runners, just to make it easy, beginners should start with 1 to 2, aiming at 2 pretty quickly, 2-3 months. If the schedule allows, not if your brain allows it, if your schedule allows it. Recreationally, recreational runners, people that are pretty consistent, been running for a few years, 2 days a week. Competitive runner, which I referenced like myself a little bit ago. So I'm in a different place there. I'm not trying to say something special about my competitive running, but I know how to train competitive runners, and I think it should be 2 to 3 all day long. Now, I mentioned 4 earlier, and that I'm not going to get into that today, but depending on the season, where you're at, what type of peak season you're at, and as well, how are you recovering from everything? Does this just seem like an easy add-on to add a third day power day? For me specifically, the reason why I do 3 days a week, no matter what, is because of my thyroid, and I also like it. And I'll do a bigger video on thyroid stuff later, but I do upper body on Monday and Friday and lower body on Wednesday, so that I'm not creating more inflammation by doing 3 full body days and not being able to recover. That's a whole thyroid thing. As far as length, honestly, aim for 30-minute workouts. If you work with me, sometimes they go up to like 45-ish minutes with warm-ups and cool-downs, but just aim for that. Be simple with it. Don't overthink. You can find links in this video as to some of the programs that I sell, and some basic stuff for beginners, intermediate, this, that, and the other. So if you have questions, let me know. But the main thing that I coach is building strength that lasts, strength that makes you a healthier person. And if you get past that kind of stuff, if you're in a place where you're trying to peak for a specific race, that's where you honestly, truthfully, really need coaching, because a lot of people do absolutely the wrong thing in the gym, and they just pick stuff and they waste time, and then people don't end up getting what they want. So then they don't think it's as valid to strength train consistently. And as always, I'll finish with this: consistency beats everything else. So I've been lifting 3 days a week for like over a decade. I was just talking to my girlfriend about this. To her, my body looks good. So I was like, this wasn't like this 10 years ago. My glutes just didn't look as defined, and they weren't as strong. And it was because I hadn't been doing this for a long period of time. Now this is just in my life. There, in no way, shape, or form am I ever cutting this out till I die. I will live 3 days a week, even when I'm running, when I'm not running, this, that, and the other. And so just always remember that. Pick something that's consistent. 1 to 2 days for most people will be good to get to a point where, let's say 2 years go by and you're like, okay, hey, I've basically been lifting 1.25 times a week this entire time. Cool. Now see, does it make sense to add a second one? But make sure there's a good why behind it, not just this video, not just because you AI'd it or something like that. Just, does this make sense for my life? Do I want to do this? And not just do I want to because like I feel good today. It's like, do I want this as a part of my life? And honestly, you should. As a person and as a runner, you should want to lift to some degree 2 days a week. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go write a blog on this because this gets me all fired up and everything. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate your following and listening, and I will see you on the other side.